កម្មវិធីកិច្ចសន្ទនាកម្ពុជានិងពិភពលោក
Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue of Southeast Asia TV. Today I have a great honor to have the Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, Mr. Furuzawa, and he agreed to come for a short dialogue with us, and we hope to learn something about the global situation, the regional, and also a bit about what he perceived the economic prospect in Cambodia. So, Mr. Furuzawa, welcome to our dialogue.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, before we start, since your first time here, perhaps you can say a few words to the audience about yourself a bit.
Thank you very much for having me. My name is Mitsuhiro Furuzawa, the Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, based in Washington. I joined the fund 2015, so it's been almost 2 years. But before that, I spent almost all my careers in the Japanese administration, and I finished the vice minister, and after that, I became the special advisor of the Prime Minister Abe, and moved to the fund. But during my long careers of the Minister of Finance, I did the executive director for Japan.
What year was that?
2010 and 2012.
Oh,
so in total 4 years and several months.
Yeah, so basically you are in your own pond. Very comfortable. Yes. Well, sir, perhaps maybe we can start by tackling a bit on the global outlook, the challenge of the global situation. Also about the Asian economy, and what would the IMF in this context would give in terms of advice to policymaker, in tackling this sort of challenge?
Mm-hmm. Well, the global economy is finally gaining the momentum. Our projection of the global economic growth, 2017 is 3.5%, and 2018 is 3.6%. Compare the last year, the 3.4%. So they're improving, and the outlook of the Asian economy remains strong, maybe the strongest globally, 5.5%, 2017, and 5.4%. But there's some risks or challenges.
Yes. Okay.
Some risks and challenges. And
can you list some of them?
The first of the sharper than expected tightening of the financial conditions.
Yes.
The possible shift toward the protectionism and the inward working policy of the major trade partners, and the more volatility of the Chinese economy and the geopolitical tension.
Yes.
So the advice of the fund is every policymaker should be vigilant to the macroeconomic imbalances, and we always say that the good policies is always the best defense.
Yes. Well, from that perspective, this is your first time in Cambodia, but I'm pretty sure you know Cambodia quite well. In terms of our economic performance and outlook. What's your view on Cambodia's situation?
Cambodia's made impressive economic performance over the past 20 years. It was one of the top 10 fastest growing economy in the world. The outlook is also positive, and we expect in 2017 the real GDP will expand about 7%, supported by the strong government export and the activity in real estate and the construction sector. But we also see the some risks.
Yes, yes. The risk. There have to be some risk.
Yeah.
It cannot be
Always
all
some
good.
risk.
Yes,
Always
yes,
some
yes.
risks.
But what?
The external side and the internal side.
Yes, yes.
Maybe the external side, the slowdown
Yes.
of the Chinese economy and the stronger than expected the U.S. dollar.
Yes.
And the weaker growth in Europe and rising protectionism.
Yes, yes.
And the internal side, while there's a lot of progress, the containing the rapid credit growth,
Yes.
still we see the some risks associated with the financial system,
Yes.
having the too or many loans concentrated in the real estate sector, and the bank depends largely the external funding.
Yes.
That means borrowing from abroad and lending inside the country.
What would be the advice from the IMF to our central bank or our Ministry of Finance in terms of policy response, bearing in mind this risk factor there?
I think that the country need to rebuild
Yes.
the buffer preemptively,
Yes.
and contain those risks which are mentioned before they materialize. So the policy should focus on preserving the macroeconomic stability and maintaining the appropriate level of the foreign exchange reserve, and strengthen the supervision and regulation of the financial system.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are
Yeah.
our advice.
But so far so good, no?
I hope so.
Yeah, so far so good. Well, I'm pleased. At least last year, Cambodia have graduated from a low income status according to the World Bank. That now we have attained the lower middle income country status. To me, it's a good progress coming from a post crisis country, from almost nothing. 20 years ago after the UN came. We move up gradually. But again, the challenge that we're in ASEAN now, ASEAN is thriving. We have to keep going up, right? What would be your advice in terms of Cambodia policy-wise, in terms of action, concrete measure, so that we can go to the next step, so that we don't get stuck into the low middle income trap, for example?
As I said, the Cambodian have made the impressive economic performance.
Yes.
But have depend on the narrow base.
Yes.
The government industry.
You're right.
So the country need to diversify its economy in terms of products and the trade destination.
Yes.
So to achieve that, the Cambodian need to more investment in infrastructure and human capital and improvement of the business climate. Lower the transportation cost, the energy cost, logistic cost, and much more the training to address the specific skill needs and improve the transparency of the business regulation. But we're very glad to see that the current government is trying to tackle those issues. For example, through their industrial development.
Yes, the IDP. Yes, I was very happy to be part of that team, and I'm glad the IMF support and those.
We welcome those initiatives. Of course, we should never forget that preserving the macroeconomic and financial stability is always the essential key.
Yeah. You mentioned a bit earlier, Mr. Furuzava, about human resource. Cambodia is very young society. Our workforce is very young. I think it's we could say that we could benefit from this sort of like a demographic dividend. And the youth are the future. Let's be real about that. What would be your advice to the Cambodian young generation now? We're slightly old, but we can give some advice.
The Cambodian young generation create both the opportunity and challenges. opportunities, the growing young generation, population, provide the long-term support of economic growth.
Yes.
But the challenge is to give the education and the jobs to all of them, and to provide the better paying jobs and the bright future. The country should continue to foster the investment in higher value-added industries. And for that, the Cambodian need to provide preserve the macroeconomic and financial stability, and maintaining the open investment and trade regime, and improve the business climate and competitiveness.
You know, you did mention in the previously, but I want to reiterate a bit the worry, at least my worry, and to many Cambodians, they worry quite a bit that Cambodia is a trading nation. We grew out of our international trade. We joined the WTO, we joined ASEAN Economic Community. It's all around trade. And the recent year is a bit worrisome. You did mention about the rise of protectionism, you know. So this is something that we are a bit worried. What's your take on that? And what Cambodia can do to at least mitigate the effect of the U.S. going inward, you know, Europe a bit, the Brexit and everything. What's your take on that?
You know, the fund strongly believes in the value and virtue of trade, free and fair trade. The trade have contributed to the economic growth, especially those countries like Cambodia and the other Asian countries that are heavily dependent on the export. So there are protectionism or inward looking policy could represent a significant risk to those countries. I think those countries should, as I said, diversify the economy, not relying on the one product and the one industry, and again to make its economy resilient through the sound macroeconomic and financial policies.
All right. So I think I hope that they will come to sense that protectionism is not helping anybody.
The good news is, for the moment, the Asian region as a whole experienced the recovery of export. The second half of 2016, and it continues the 2017. So this is the part of it is due to the higher commodity price, but I think it is encouraging development overall, despite the rising sentiment.
But the rising sentiment is mostly in the U.S. and in Europe. So luckily, you know, we in Asia, we still okay. We don't see any country that are going inward. So in that sense, at least the region is strong. So we can ride on that one. That's great. That's reassuring. Let's make sure the region stay like that. Mr. Furuzawa, we're running out of time. But I want to have a bit because many of our audience are a lot of university students. A lot of people may not know what the IMF is doing to help a country like Cambodia and many other countries around the world. Perhaps you can say a bit about the role of the IMF in helping emerging countries like Cambodia.
You know, the IMF has three major roles: the lending, and economic surveillance and policy advice, and capacity development. And Cambodia has a long time benefited from all three of them. We don't have the lending program since 2003. But we have the very close policy dialogue and cooperation, and we maintain the office in Phnom Penh. And so through the economic surveillance. We give the policy advice, and also the Cambodia is one of the major beneficiaries of the capacity building. What is a capacity building? That is helping the country, the member country, to improve their public management in the area of fiscal policy, the monetary policy, the financial sector issues, and data and statistics. It's like hiring the top class of the management consulting firms. But the difference is it's free.
Yeah,
you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay.
We shouldn't turn down anything that's free.
And we would like to continue those. Those
no, I recall quite happily that when I was Vice Minister of Commerce way in 2000, when we were negotiating WTO, one of our law that the IMF has been very helpful is the insolvency law. So we did get for free.
That's good.
So I'm glad.
That's good.
Anyway, Mr. Furuzawa, I want to say thank you to you for
thank you
coming.
Very much.
Perhaps you can have the last few words for the audience. What you think. Last few words.
Thank you very much for having me today. Cambodia and the IMF has a very, very good relationship, and we would like to continue this good relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so
Thank you. Thank you very much.